Hello guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video we're going to see how to navigate in stick nodes, and if you have not yet downloaded the stick nodes app, kindly get it from Google Play Store or Apple Play Store to get started. So when you open stick nodes, you will see such an interface. You're going to see the Stickman, and if you see this blue frame, that is a frame. So I'm going to show you how to add a frame. You add a frame by clicking on this plus sign. So every time you click on this plus sign, you add a frame, and you can remove a frame by also clicking on this one with a cross sign. So every time you click on this cross sign, you are going to be able to remove a frame. When I click on this, they will bring for me app tools, project tools, animation tools, library tools, and text field tools. So first of all, I will first teach you how to save your project. To save your project, you are going to click on project tools. First of all, saving your project enables you to remain with that project that you have made even after moving away from stick nodes or exiting stick nodes. So when I click on project tools, they are going to bring for me save and save as. So you can click on save. So when I click on save, they are going to bring for me this interface, and they are saying that this will save your project file to stick nodes folder on your device. Please give a valid file name, and they are giving you a text bar for the project title. So it means if you save your project, you are going to save it on stick nodes folder on your device. So I'm going to click on this text bar and save my project. I will say Stickman Fight. So Stickman Fight will be my project title. So every time I come back on stick nodes, I'll be able to just search for Stickman Fight, and I'll find my project already there. So I will just save this project, and I will say yes, overwrite. Yes, overwrite. So they are going to save my project. So every time I'm coming, I will be able to find my project already there, right? I think it's time to go to animation tools. So for the case of animation tools, you're going to just click on animation tools, right, like how I have done, and you are going to see here on the left hand side, you're going to see animation FPS. And for the case of stick nodes, you can choose FPS from 1 up to 60. So what is FPS? FPS, it means frames per second. So it is how many frames you need to create to make 1 second. So when I add a frame, let's say I've chosen 12 frames per second, I need 12 frames to make 1 second, right? So I need 12 frames to make 1 second. So if I choose, like here you are seeing they are saying 10 frames per second, but to change this, remember we don't want to animate using 10 frames per second, but the application has given us 10 frames per second, so we need to change it. So what you're going to do, you're going to click on this frame and you use the plus sign to add the FPS or the minus sign to remove the FPS if you have added excess FPS, right? So you're going to click on plus sign to add FPS. So for beginners, I would encourage you to use 12 frames per second, but if you are a pro in animation, you can use 24 frames per second. So let us use 12 frames per second since we are a beginner. So what you are going to do, you are going to just remove or use the minus sign to change it to 12 frames per second. Okay, all right. So after, also on animation tools, flip stick nodes has twinning. So what does twinning mean? It means this twinning makes these frames be close, like they be twin. I don't know how I can explain it, but it makes the movements a little bit not jumpy. So you can check on this. So here they are going to give you what twinning is. So twinning is all about, this message will show you. Okay, when twinning is on, your chosen number of twinned frames are added in between each frame. This makes your animation look smoother. To account for this, the FPS increases. However, the overall FPS is limited to a maximum of 60. So keep that in mind. The app will remove twin frames regardless of what you have chosen in order to keep the animation running at a maximum FPS of 60. Please note, the app can only guess your movements, so twinned stick figures might behave odd. If this happens, you either have to disable twinning on the frame or tweak your animation poses to make the movements clearer. So also note that the app identifies how stick figures maps to itself across the frames by a unique ID number that is given to it upon creation. This is important because if a stick figure is accidentally deleted, you can't simply add in an identical stick figure from the library and expect the app to twin it correctly from the previous frame to the current frame. Instead, you must go back to the previous frame, copy the stick figure in question, and then paste it back into the frame it was deleted from. This way, the unique ID it was assigned is preserved and twinning will work correctly. So if you read this text, I request you to read through it clearly, but as you're animating in stick nodes, you'll find out that some frames appear jumpy compared when they are moving from one movement to another. So if you add twinning, it adds the missing frames, right? But the frame rate, remember, the frame rate must be below 60 or 60 and below, so it will remove the excess frames. So that's all. But twinning is very, very important. As a beginner, you must be with the twinning. So we have looping. We can check this also. They are saying looping. Okay, here is a quick explanation of looping. If you don't have twinning enabled, don't worry about this checkbox. Okay, so if you don't check the box for twinning, it's very fine to not check the box for looping. If you don't have twinning enabled and your animation is supposed to loop, make sure this checkbox is checked. What this does is simply to have the last frame twinning smoothly into the first frame to result in a seamless loop. I hope you have understood that one as well. So you can check here. So we say okay, and we can reduce the twinning frames to 2. I think we are done with that. So that's all about the animation tools. You must enable twinning, you must enable looping, and as well you should check the correct FPS for your animation project. So we are going to go to application tools. For the case of application tools, you can open a new project or open a project. I told you, when you make a project or save your project, when you leave Sticknodes and you come back, you just open, you click on app tools and open project. You tap on open project here and you just put the name of your project that you want to open, right? Then you click on open. So if you have a project and you want to delete it, you can delete it by clicking on it and you say delete, right? So you can even add a new project if you have not yet saved any project. Okay, you can rate Sticknodes, you can download Sticknodes Pro and the rest as well. You can send and receive files. Okay, then another thing that I want to teach you is text tools. For the case of text tools, you will you'll click on text tools, text field tools, then you can add a text. So you click on add text, then you can add any text like hi, right? So this text will appear here and it can be moved, right? Yes, that's hi. So you can change the color of this text to any color that you want. Yes, you can make it be in any color that you want, and You can put it at any angle. Yes, you can rotate it at any angle. You can reduce the opacity and you can add the opacity. You can increase the size of this text to any size that you want. And as well, you can show shadow to this text. Yes, you can show text shadow depending on what you want to do with this text. Then we have seen all these tools apart from the library tools. For the case of the library tools, I will show you some simple things that I want you to know. First of all is how to add the stick figure. So what you're going to do, you're going to click on add stick figure. So you can add another stick figure that you want, right? Or delete. Add. Or delete. So you can import stick figure. There are a lot of stick figures here. You are going to click on import. So first of all, you are going to click on library tools. After on library tools, you are going to add import stick figure. Then search for the stick figure that you want, then import. Then after you click on add, so your stick figure will come here and you start animating with it the way how you want, like that, slowly like that. It's very okay, it's very easy. So as you can see here, you can change the way how the stick figure is horizontally and vertically. Yes, you can change it horizontally and vertically. You can center the stick figure and you can change the color of your stick figure to any stick figure that you want for your animation. So you allow me stop from there. We are going to come up with the second part for how to animate in Sticknodes. I hope this video has helped you. I cannot explode everything in one video, but what you should do, subscribe, like this video, as well comment. Thanks. I sign out.